Okay, this is gonna be harder if they're efficient, if they're doing gens. So there's one here, and there's kind of... Alright, we need a quick down.
What got you into maining nurse?
Because she's the best killer in the game, and I like the, I came from playing COD 4, which is a shooter. And the only shooter in this game is Deathslinger, but you only have one... What are they doing? They're throwing. What is happening here? So Nurse, there's somewhat of a... She's not a shooter, but there's somewhat of an aspect of shooting because the blinks are like bullets and they require aiming. So that aspect of playing Nurse, like, you're kind of like firing a weapon. You know, that appealed to me. And that she's the best killer in the game. And, I don't know, she's just the one I gravitated to. I don't even have storage hooks. I'm sitting here looking for a storage hook. Add on his last razor wire.
And Huntress.
Yeah, true, Huntress. But when I tried Huntress, I felt like it was clunky. Same as Deathslinger. It's like when I would aim down sights, I didn't have that that quick response of aiming down sights. It felt delayed, or pulling up a hatchet. And no, I haven't. And so then, you know, another thing is I started off actually playing Bubba because I liked Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I just thought it was neat to have Leatherface, so I started off with him. And when I first started off as killer, I would kind of somewhat dominate at, you know, because you're at low MMR.
You can go outside the map and go to the exit gates.
So I would dominate at lower MMR, not really knowing. I was new to the game. I'm just like, oh, okay, I got this in the bag. You know, this game's easy for
Shambles
killer.
already for this team already in GL.
But then, once my MMR got up, I started, I actually started going against really good players that could loop Bubba, and that I remember getting looped at Shack for like the first time, and it felt like infinitely, and I couldn't do anything. It was like I couldn't catch this person, and I just didn't. That's when I learned that like there's a whole other game. Like people get in this game because they're like, oh, Dead by Daylight, it's it's a horror game and it's scary and I gotta hide and work on generators and escape and all that. But the whole other game here is the looping game, and it's not a horror game. It's more of just the strategy of looping. And that's when I realized, that's when I learned, like, okay, there's this other game going on here, and there were good players at it, and I couldn't catch people with Bubba anymore. Suddenly my MMR increased, and like I felt weak, and I had to resort to trying to tunnel and camp the hook and play dirty. And I was lucky if I could even get a kill, or maybe two, but it was hard enough to get one kill. By the time you got one kill, the gens were all done, right? So that's when I realized like Nurse has this special ability. It's not always easy, like how he just looped me there, but she has a special ability to ignore things like pallets and windows, and the chases are faster. Now, it comes with its own challenges if survivors are good. Like, he just kind of... I'm also a little distracted, but he just kind of looped me there.
W away.
Anyway, you just, you know, if they're on the other side of this car, I don't have to go around the car. I just come over here. So she's just when I switched to other killers at high MMR, I felt so weak, and it was a struggle to just get a kill or two. Like I said, at the higher MMR, because once you have a couple killers at higher MMR, this account doesn't really have high MMR. It's probably like, it's not low right now, it's not baby MMR, but it's not the highest. If it were the highest, we'd be at like 1 gen by now. But yeah, other killers just felt weak. Like that right there. You can't do that with any other killer. Well, I guess you could with like some projectile killers and stuff. Like the new killer, he shoots his thing. Oh, I noticed another thing with pallets right now. Like, I don't know if it's all killers or with Nurse. Like, it seems like people can't hit me with pallets. But see, I don't have to break this pallet. I started playing Blade Tournament and I kept going up, so switching to any of the killer. If you have a couple killers with higher MMR, then all of your killers' MMRs will go up. But they won't go to the max. They'll just get pushed up to like a higher cap. Like instead of being at 650 baby MMR, they'll probably be like 1200 or something. Yeah, but I don't know about Pig now because supposedly Save the Best for Last was nerfed, and that was a really good perk for her. So I don't know what I would run on her now. But I haven't played the Pig in a long time, but... So that's the thing for me with killers, is that you would have to like...
When I play killer, I play trickster, but if not a survivor main, I play survivor 100% of the time.
Jeez, so Kate's on Death Hook. With killers, I feel like you have to kind of do some research and figure out what perks synergize with them. Go find like that killer main, like what's that guy, CM Winter, he's the Pig main, you know, and you go figure out what he's running lately and what add-ons and what perks and why, and go watch him explain, like, and then, you know, I mean, you could just go in and play, but I feel like if you want to be the most effective, you have to go take advice from those particular killer mains.
It's clear beyond all reasonable doubt that Spin Daddy truly cares, as evidenced by their desire to invite others to join the family.
See? Just tricked her.
Just explain how to tunnel.
It'll just explain how to tunnel. See, I just tricked her like there. I aimed my blink here, and then I went here, and I figured she was going to vault us back. So those are like the mind games with Nurse. Don't you do that? Don't. Okay. Now you die. Both of you. Had to be a big shot.
No
Had to
damage.
prove it to the crowd. Oh, okay, the pallet does work. When I tried to give people free pallet hits while I was carrying someone, it didn't work. Like multiple times. Had to prove it to the crowd. Okay, Michaela's on first hook. You, sir.
GSATSK.
You're gonna pay for
Persistence
that.
paid off. He saw his opportunity and took it long.
You're gonna pay for my skill issue. Oh no, really?
I did want to
What is
see
with
your
this?
killer,
Like, the
so
whole
this
thing
is
just-
cool.
Why though? Why does this keep happening? It got off easy. And I also wanted to see what glitch you were talking about on Haddonfield, getting out of the map. Is this with anybody? Like anyone can get out of the map.
It's been happening a lot to me and others I know too.
Yeah, it just
I love playing
disconnects.
with Spirit, but after your Zavant's crying about her addons, they nerfed her.
Damn BHVR giving these survivors a way out. They knew they were cooked.
Yeah, I was
Garden of Joy.
It's on the side of the map.
Oh, Garden of Joy, okay. Not Haddonfield, okay. Spirit was gonna be my second main. I really liked her. But
Spirit's still really good though.
yeah, but once again for me, like I got to top MMR with Spirit, and then things just got really hard. I mean, I did okay, but there were just some games. I mean, it kind of happens with any killer. Like there are some games that high MMR with Nurse, I just get destroyed. It's just 4-man out. There's to me, I find harder like the macro game of keeping in mind like, okay, which survivors on which center, which survivor I need to kill. Just managing like that's another reason I bring the Mori, is because the Mori tells me who's on death hook. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to think like, oh, I hooked this particular Kate in this outfit twice and she's on death hook. The Mori just tells me they're on death hook.
19 her name. Lol.